Mary Nell McIntyre, and I am the coach here at Holston Middle School in Sullivan County. And I'm talking to Heather Rothgeb, who is the 8th grade ELA teacher. She has all the students in 8th grade for ELA, and there are two things that have been purchased by the National Order Grant that she is using in her classroom. And so, Heather, if you could tell us about how you are utilizing the Chromebooks that you got on your cart, and then how you and perhaps even the whole faculty is also utilizing the vocabulary program, which we purchased.
Okay. Well, the Chromebooks have been a huge helpful thing for us because until we got those, we didn't have one-to-one technology in 8th grade. So because we're doing ELA extension at Holston this year, we are, and I'm, the ELA teacher is planning it, but everybody's teaching it. We couldn't do anything that was on computers during that class period. So we couldn't use any kind of computer, like we couldn't use Kahoot, we couldn't do online things, I couldn't use Google Classroom, anything like that. So it's been a huge help to be able to have the Chromebooks and be able to share those, or share, so we all have a set of computers. And then when we do our writing assessment and our cornerstones and all those writing things, then everyone's able to type their essays, which is great practice for high school and college, and also just great in general because it's good for them to have hands-on stuff with the computers, and also because it helps because their handwriting is not always the easiest to read. Also, the Chromebooks that we got for this classroom have a touch screen, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it really has helped them sometimes when they're navigating sites, those kinds of things. And when they log into Google, because they're Chromebooks, once they log in as themselves, everything is saved. So like their Common Lit stuff is saved, all of their passwords for all the different programs we used are saved in there, which saves a ton of time. Whereas before we had to, oh, so-and-so got left logged in, so now what do we do? So it really has saved us time as well as given us a lot more access to programs.
And hasn't this really led to you being able to do more personalized things?
Yes.
When we're talking about personalized learning, because their technology and all their information can be kept on there.
Right.
It helps with that too.
And we can also connect things together and do, like I can give options for ELA extension in Google Classroom. I can put it on for all the different teachers, and all the kids can see what their choices are and be able to go from one thing to another.
That's great. Now, vocabulary we got in December, and so the whole school has access to it. I've heard a lot of great comments about it, and I know that you have also been using that in the classroom and have urged the other teachers to use, especially the vocabulary portion. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
There's grade levels. There's a color system, and like blue is for 8th grade, of vocabulary words that kids need to know for that grade level. So it's like doing, like back in the day, you would use Wordly Wise or things like that on paper. But what I found, even in the short time that we've had it, is kids react so much better to it because it is online. Right. They may be doing the same thing. They may be writing a sentence that goes along with whatever, or filling in the blank, or picking the synonym. But because it's interactive, even ones that sometimes won't do written work will work on it. And the other thing with the vocabulary system is it's the first time since I've been here, and I've been here 21 years, that we've had across the board using the same vocabulary system, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So I think in the long run, we're going to see a lot of benefits from that. And our it covers so many different skills, but it also gives lots of variety for different types of learners. So they don't just like write a sentence with a word. They draw on the computer, which their results are amazing and sometimes super funny, but it really shows that they're thinking about it. And then like the game portion of it has so many high level questions. So even though it looks like they're doing fun stuff, it has great material, and all way that you can use it, and every kid can kind of work on it at their own pace, I think is great. I just feel like, I mean, as I told the 8th graders at the beginning, I said, okay, now the raps, some of you are going to love them, and some of them are going to think this is the dorkiest thing I've ever heard. Like, they are kind of, I mean, to grown-ups, they're kind of dorky, but it really, like, I've heard kids singing them, like, with vocabulary words, with their definitions, going down the hall and they think they're being funny, but they really seem to be
Right.
getting those words. And there's other sections of vocabulary as well. Like we're doing the Diary of Anne Frank right now. And so one of their options for optional, like you pick what you want to do time, was a vocabulary on the Holocaust. So I had good background information, but it goes over the vocabulary. It's just, I mean, I'm
Right.
so excited about it.
Great. Yeah, I used it today with the 7th grade with Martin Luther King. And it just had such great pictures. So, yes, there was a rap that went with it, but they loved the rap and they could see a lot of authentic pictures of the
Right.
time period. Okay. Well, in closing, you want to add anything about like how you felt about having a coach available with the grant? What your experience has been with that?
I'm going to be super honest. When Dr. Fields told me about the grant and everything, and then told me we were going to have a coach that was going to come every Wednesday, I might have rolled my eyeballs. Because, you know, there have been times in the past where somebody comes in to give you input, and then you realize that they don't really have as much input as you would like, and then it's just taking up your time. But I have told lots of people in this building that I have felt so supported, gotten great information from our coach, and she has helped us tons, even with like with the writing and with giving feedback. The kids have been so excited for her to look over their writing and give feedback because it's somebody that doesn't know them. And so when somebody says, "Oh, you did a great job on this," and it's not me, I think it means more because they're so used to me giving feedback constantly. And then just all sorts of great resources and also tons of support when there are questions or things that aren't maybe exactly the way we want them or whatever. I feel like we finally have some support on all that. So I'm super happy about that too and feel like it's been really helpful.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you very much, Heather.
Yep.
And thanks from Holston Middle School.